Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Growth Studio. I am your host, Suchata, and I am sitting here in our sun-drenched studio feeling absolutely energized today.
It is wonderful to be here with you, Suchata. The atmosphere is perfect for the deep conversation we have planned. Hello to all our listeners out there.
Today, we are diving into a topic that sounds simple but is actually life-altering. We are talking about mastering the 4 pillars of self-mastery: controlling your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind.
Those 4 M's are the foundation of a successful life. If you can master these, you are essentially the master of your own destiny. It sounds heavy, but it is actually quite liberating once you start the journey.
Let's start with the first one, which I think is often the hardest in the heat of the moment: the mouth. Why is it so vital to control what we say, Mr. Saroon?
You know, Suchata, there is an old saying that the tongue has no bones, but it is strong enough to break a heart. Controlling the mouth isn't just about not being rude. It's about the power of words to build or destroy. Once a word leaves your lips, you can never take it back. It becomes a permanent part of the universe's record.
That is a powerful image. I've definitely had moments where I said something in anger and immediately felt that heavy pit of regret in my stomach.
We all have. Mastery of the mouth is about the golden pause. It's that 3-second gap between a thought and a word. In those 3 seconds, you ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary?
Is it necessary? That's the one that gets me. Sometimes we talk just to fill the silence or to prove we are right, even when it doesn't help anyone.
Exactly. Silence is often more powerful than 1,000 words. When you control your mouth, you preserve your energy and your dignity. You stop the gossip, you stop the complaining, and you start speaking life into your goals.
I love that, speaking life into goals. Now that leads us right into the second M, the mood. Our emotions can feel like a roller coaster sometimes, especially with everything happening in the world. How do we stay in the driver's seat?
Mood control is emotional intelligence in action. It's the realization that while you cannot control what happens to you, you can absolutely control how you interpret it. If you let every external event dictate your mood, you are a puppet. And I don't think anyone wants to be a puppet, Suchata.
Definitely not. But it feels so real, doesn't it? When someone cuts you off in traffic or a deadline is missed, that flash of irritation feels unavoidable.
Calmly. It is a physiological response, yes, but your mood is like the weather in your internal house. You might not stop the rain outside, but you don't have to open all the windows and let it ruin the carpet. Mood control is about grounding yourself. It's about breathing and deciding that your peace of mind is too expensive to give away for free to a stranger on the road.
Inspired. Your peace of mind is too expensive to give away for free. I need to write that down. That is such a perspective shift. It turns emotional regulation into a form of self-respect.
Precisely. When you control your mood, you make better decisions. You don't burn bridges, and you stay focused on the long-term vision instead of the short-term frustration.
Transitioning. Speaking of the long term, let's talk about the third M, money. This is a big one for our listeners. Why is financial control such a huge part of this self-mastery puzzle?
Seriously, money is a tool for freedom. If you don't control your money, or the lack of it, will control you. It will dictate where you live, what you eat, and how much stress you carry in your shoulders every single night.
And it's not just about earning a lot, right? I know people who earn a fortune but are still drowning in debt and anxiety.
Pointedly, that is the core of it. Controlling money is about discipline and delayed gratification. It's the ability to say no to a temporary want so you can say yes to a permanent need. It's about understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. If you buy things to impress people you don't even like, you are losing the game of money.
Reflectively, it's almost like the mouth and the money are linked. Both require that golden pause, pausing before you speak and pausing before you swipe that credit card.
Smiling, you hit the nail on the head. It is all about impulse control. Mastery is the opposite of impulsiveness. When you control your money, you create a buffer. That buffer provides peace, and that peace allows you to focus on the final and most important M.
The master controller. If we can control our minds, does everything else just fall into place?
Deeply. The mind is the garden, Suchata. Your thoughts are the seeds. If you don't actively plant flowers, weeds will grow by default. Controlling your mind means being the gatekeeper of what information you consume, what beliefs you hold about yourself, and what narrative you tell yourself every morning.
With feeling, I've noticed that if I start my day scrolling through social media, my mind feels cluttered and anxious. But if I read something meaningful, I feel focused. Is that what you mean by gatekeeping?
Enthusiastically, yes, exactly that. Your mind is the most valuable real estate you own. Why would you let garbage stay there? Controlling the mind involves meditation, constant learning, and most importantly, challenging your own negative self-talk. You have to be your own loudest cheerleader, not your harshest critic.
That is so beautiful. To think that we have the power to curate our own internal world, it feels like a superpower when you put it that way.
It is the only superpower we truly have. Control your mouth to preserve your integrity. Control your mood to preserve your energy. Control your money to preserve your freedom. And control your mind to preserve your reality.
Sighs contentedly. Mr. Saroon, this has been such a refreshing conversation. I feel like I have a roadmap now. It's not about being perfect, is it? It's about the practice.
It is a lifelong practice. You will slip up. You might say the wrong thing or spend too much on a coffee, but the master is the one who notices the slip, forgives themselves, and returns to the path of control immediately.
Warmly. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today. To our listeners, take a moment today to check in with your 4 M's. Which one needs a little more love? Which one are you ready to master?
Friendly. Take it one step at a time. Thank you for having me, Sochata. It was a joy. Joyfully.
The pleasure was all mine. Join us next time on The Growth Studio. Until then, stay mindful and stay in control. Goodbye.